In this video, I want to talk about the analysis papers and how to do them. Now, sometimes I'm using the word analysis paper, sometimes I use the word reflection paper. It's all the same thing, and my apologies for being inconsistent. I don't know, I should just do better to be consistent. These analysis papers are worth 10%, and they take time to do. But before you think that it doesn't matter, let me say it does. And they're not difficult to do if you put the time into it. It's just, I know some of you probably are like, well, why should I put the time into it? It's only worth 10%. But I assure you, every semester there's one student out of 30 who does very well on everything, doesn't do any analysis papers or does them very well, and they end up going from an A to a B plus. And it just seems like a shame to me that it has to be that way, but it happens every semester. So let me talk about what the structure of these analysis papers should be, and then you can kind of structure your time around doing these analysis papers well. So there are a total of 8 analysis papers. You can find them at the end of each relevant topic, or you can go to assignments, and let's just go to this as you would see it, and you would see them all collectively right here with their relevant due dates. You have 2 due for the first deadline, then 3, then 3. So there's a total of 8. Let's go to the first one here, which is under topic 2. So you'll see this at the very bottom here. You'll see it right here. And so it's a pretty standard structure for this. Essentially, it's a 3-paragraph paper. And I know everyone seems to ask very quickly about when is it, how long should it be. Generally speaking, it takes a student about a page or 2 to do it well. With 3 paragraphs. You can make it more, but it essentially has 3 components to it. So here's what you do. First thing you do is that for each of the analysis papers, you start by reading the article. So you're basically writing a reaction to the article. So you would read this article first. Okay, so I'm going to read about why in Mexico more berries are being grown than corn. Okay, so I read this rather short article. Okay, done. Now, I write the paper. So I write the paper in like Word or in Google Docs or something, because the way that I submit it is I submit it as a file here within Laulima. But the 3-paragraph structure is that in the first paragraph, let's get out of this view here. Let's go over here. So I make a document that kind of talks about the structure. I have it right here. But essentially, the first paragraph is just a summary of the article. That shouldn't be too tough. You basically have read the article, and in 1 paragraph, you are summarizing it for me. Then it's the second and third paragraph, which are really determining your grade here, and which are really important. In the second paragraph, you're applying the chapter material, the topic material, to the article. So if it's talking about production possibility frontiers and comparative advantage and choices being made, that's probably what you would talk about in the article and find the applications to it. I'm just looking for some integration of the course material there. And then the third paragraph should actually be the most fun, but I have found that in my dealings with this, that students sometimes find this to be quite difficult, or just don't do very much with it. And it should actually be the easiest, because really what you're doing here is just sharing your own thoughts. You could say, I don't understand what's going on in this article. You could say, I disagree with what the author is saying. I completely agree with what the author is saying. I found this really interesting. I found this really boring. Something that's showing your own thoughts, some reflection, something that shows some way in which you have either been changed or not changed by having read this article. It's either affirming or denying what you believe already. And then I include an example here of how a student had structured this in the past. They made my life really easy, and I would suggest you try to do the same, where they had like a bolded part where they just said like summary, I don't know, integration, and then opinion. This person's opinion was a bit too short in my opinion. You should make it a little bit longer than that. But it gives you an idea of like how they structured it, and you can see it doesn't take very long. And again, they wouldn't have gotten the full points if only because the opinion or the thoughts reflection should be a little bit longer, a little bit more in detail. Okay, so again, most students take about a page. Some take up to 2 pages. You can write as much as you want. I've had students, there's always a few students every semester who do an excellent job and it takes them 4 pages to do each analysis. I will read whatever you give me. But my suggestion would be is that a good strong analysis would take about a page to 2 pages. And I am more than willing to read a draft before you submit it. So if you're unsure, you're feeling uncertain about things, you can send me something. I am not grading you based on punctuation, sentence structure, or any kind of the mechanics of writing. You're just basically using writing to express your thoughts. So that's how you do the analysis papers.